Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
All right, who would like to give a quick recap of the last session?
I'm changing the music. Somebody else has to do it.
We finished whapping Mr. Taz's realm. Yeah, it is. And then we are like, oh, let's go through a couple of thought puzzles to figure out how to escape here. We took a little resty rest and then popped on through with Rakdos healed back up from the lava pit, and we're like, huzzah, we've made it to the Orzhov just in time. And then Sculper is like, whoa, I am here. Trial be upon ye. As Niv Mizzet and the other guild leaders were like, silence, peasants. Why did you intrude? Oh, hi, Rakdos. How you doing? And what has it been, like, a few years? And then Sculper's like, oh, yo, those Obsidots, yeah, they're weak, but I'm strong. Look at me. I'm Leech Man, and because I'm a Lich, you can't do jack because, yeah, I'm above the law, y'all. And then we're like, no, you shouldn't, elect him to be guild leader because that is hella undope, and, he's actually a servant of the old gods.
That's a pretty good recap.
Yeah.
Hella undope.
I
And-
do have to ask one question though.
Yeah.
Can you hear this?
The knocking? Yes.
Yeah, cool, because I have a gavel.
Got it.
If you need it.
I think you missed the part where he almost got us all killed by putting Ghost and Celestial into the thing.
No, that was the session before.
Yeah, you did it this session before. I think we fought him last session, didn't we?
Yeah, last session is when you fought him and he gated out.
Zipped away.
Nah, he's a little bitch that steals things and runs away. He's beneath my memory.
But yeah, the last thing that happened at the end of last session was just Rakdos throwing a telepathic message into each of your minds of, be careful what you say. Niv Mizzet has killed people for having far less knowledge than you do.
Yeah.
I want to be eaten by Dragon Daddy.
I'm going to a different room. Give me a second.
So,
Good man.
does anybody have anything they want to say or do before the guild leaders speak again?
Hey Connor, you still there?
Hi.
I think at this point Escher's just gonna look to Fox and say, this is your forte. You're sure you know what you're doing, right?
Don't worry, I have a 12-point plan.
Escher, give him that
Oh my God, we're
motherfucking
going-
guidance, please.
We're going to die. And I put my hand on his shoulder. Yeah, I'll start him out with a guidance to use somewhere.
All right. So, Niv Mizzet will speak. This is quite the accusation you cast. I hope you're ready to defend it. Asperia. And you see as the Sphinx, who's kind of in the top left corner over here, takes a moment to kind of deep breath in, deep breath out. And then everyone in the room has to give me, just need to confirm what type of wisdom save this is.
There's multiple types.
Oh, what type? Did I say wisdom?
Yeah.
I meant
Yes.
to say what type of save this is. I couldn't remember if it was wisdom or charisma, but she...
You scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, are you doing wisdom 1 or wisdom 2? No, it's a charisma save, and you all feel as she casts Zone of Truth on the entire shrine.
I willingly fail.
Yeah, you can also willingly fail.
Do they tell us to willingly fail? Or or does she just?
No, you just feel the magic coursing. Kai is well aware of how the Azorius work. Asperia is the supreme legal authority, is her official title. He can tell you if you succeed and try to resist it, she will be aware.
All right, yeah, I'll just choose to fail.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll fail too. Well, I'll just say.
Fair enough.
So I will say out loud, at least to the people on the bench next to me, like when I feel it, knowing exactly what Asperia is doing, I'll be like, if you resist, she'll know. It'll look worse.
And yep,
He fucker trying to resist.
he did try to resist, and he absolutely fails. I'll be straight up, the DC for a guild leader spellcasting is higher than 11. That's some metagame knowledge for you
I
all.
imagine it's probably higher than 22, which is the highest he could get.
It might not be.
It is not the highest that that's the highest that a player character can get.
Oh.
But yeah, it's higher than 11. Enjoy your metagame knowledge. As the zone of truth casts itself over the entire shrine, and like the energy courses through everyone, Asperia gives a glare at Sculper, but then goes, all have fallen under the effects. Lies will be known to all.
Wonderful. Fox, that makes your job easy, right?
Yes. Real quick, before I go into tirade, does anyone remember what the Druid's Grove name was?
What?
7 points.
The 7 points. Yes.
Was I correct about that?
You are half correct about that. It is the Druid's Grove of the 14 points.
I knew something points.
Wow, you literally half correct.
Yeah,
Did we go to a Druid's Grove?
You
just
did.
before you joined the campaign.
Okay, that explains it.
That's
I was
where
about
we
to
met.
say, I think I would have remembered that.
That is literally the session that Tavro joined them, was the fight
Yeah.
with the Bone Collective at the Grove of the 14 points.
Interesting.
might have even been
What a
me.
thing for me to have missed.
Outward just ran in.
Well, good thing I'm not a druid, or that would have been a shame if I missed that.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Good thing you're just a doctor.
Well, I don't know how familiar you all are with the system here, but as the accuser, you may speak your accusation. The defendant will have a chance to speak their part, and it will go back and forth until the guild leaders have determined an outcome.
At what point do we have to draw stones? I don't say that.
Well, you are the accuser, Orzhovian. What do you
Indeed.
speak?
Told you.
He's here.
I just.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
You didn't really miss anything. Zone of Truth was cast over the entire shrine. Everyone, both in the party and not. Everybody willingly failed. I'm going to say you also willingly failed. And
Sculper, this little bastard.
Sculper tried to resist, but failed. Yeah, and now Fox is about to make his accusation.
Indeed. To begin, I will disclose that me and Sculper have had contact in the past. The first contact between me and the accused party occurred in the Rubble Belt, as me and my party and I apprehended and took control of one bone collective that had been created and controlled by the Sculper and was assaulting the druids of the Grove of the 14 Points. Upon defeating
Uh,
and taking control.
Sorry, 1 second. The vet is calling.
Okay,
Hello?
I suppose that's a good reason.
You're doing so
Yes,
good.
speaking.
All right, thank you.
All right, Foxen takes a quick water break.
Nope, don't
He
call
just
me again.
paces around on the floor.
Connor. It's alright, your little speech.
I apologize. That was
done.
not the vet. It was just a very similar number.
I see.
Did they tell you about your card instead of the one?
No, they want to buy my place.
Oh.
It's a spam call. Like,
Yeah.
they want to buy my place for like half of what it's worth.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like a pretty good deal.
Hell yeah, for them. Sorry, continue, Connor. Or Fox.
Upon defeating and taking control of the Bone Collective, the accused Sculper then vowed vengeance upon me and set into motions our following encounters. As for what the Bone Collective was doing, we can lay that part down for the time being, but the summary is that it was attempting to destroy the healing restorative abilities of the druids there, a point which may be relevant later. Following
And
this,
at this point, the Golgari guild leader Gerard cuts in. You say Bone Collective on the surface? And this is true? And he looks over at Sculper, who just gives a shallow nod. Then you have committed one crime already. Those should not be in the Overcity. They are bound to the Golgari. Continue.
as further evidence, the petrified remains of that Bone Collective currently lie in insert the courtyard in front of the place. It did eventually walk somewhere else, but like insert the name of that courtyard. Just insert road name here.
Bar that was in
The-
near
In front of the.
In front of the statue of Argus Core II in the courtyard of the second precinct.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had written down.
Is it actually? I'm sure it is.
Yes.
Don't worry, the only reason I know that is it's because it's the only courtyard I've named.
Wait,
Base!
I don't believe that for 1 second.
He didn't name the rest.
Courtyard 1, Courtyard 2.
following this encounter, my party and I had another 2 subsequent encounters whose linkage to Sculper will be made evident. First, I was targeted by an assassin. My party and I defeated this assassin and showed the severed petrified head of it to multiple witnesses. From the hideout of this assassin, we uncovered several minor artifacts that we collected in order to try to figure out more details about the assassin and their guild. It was from these artifacts that we first uncovered the linkage to the entity that Sculper has been in contact with. As the entity then tried to seduce me with offers of power. I, being the strong-willed and devoted son of Ravnica I am, easily resisted these temptations.
You can't say
And-
that.
And at this point, Asperia cuts in, a lie, but only a braggart one. Nothing else has been false so far. It was not easy to resist, it seems. Continue.
Following these events, my party and I proceeded to uncover another hideout related to the entity that Sculper has been in contact with. It was here that we uncovered further artifacts, one sacrificial dagger that was engraved with the symbol of the entity.
2.
Oh, 2 daggers, yes. It was there that the entity had then tried to contact us, and is within this hideout that we witnessed multiple undead entities assisting the aforementioned entity, using a portal of impossible geometry in order to teleport supplies. My party and I ransacked the location and withdrew, fleeing due to the war that had just been declared due to the Boros and the Rakdos. Following these events, Sculper laid out a trap for me, giving instructions to one Accolith to redirect a teleport
my comrades and I did to his residence. It is there that I first formally met Sculper. At his residence, the Sculper then relayed the following information to us. 1. That he was extremely angry for us valiantly stopping his Bone Collective's reign of terror upon the Druids. 2. That we were in possession of several artifacts that belonged to him, coming from 1. The assassin, and 2. The hideouts for the entity that we had ransacked, and that he dearly wanted those artifacts back. 3. That he severely wished to kill me. 4. That he would not kill me because the entity he was in contact with wished to recruit me instead. And so he finally then attempted to recruit me into the service of the entity he's in service with more false promises from it. It is at this time we also witnessed the accused Sculper directly communing with the entity, who proclaimed that I would be a valuable servant if subdued. Then Sculper... Alright, I said that part. Sculper then finally gave an ultimatum that I either serve him and his master, or he would kill us. Sensing the danger of the situation, not wishing to tempt a lich in its own domain, or to be twisted by the same forces that have twisted Sculper's mind, my party and I withdrew, utilizing a teleport in order to escape the lich's lair. It is from there that my party and I proceeded to the Crypt of Keys and freed Rakdos, as we had come to fully understand the gravity of the situation we were uncovering. It is also speculated that the accused Sculper learned of our plans via scrying and divination magics targeted at me by his master, the entity who he had contact with, who we had detected several times casting multiple spells in order to scry upon our location. Further, I resisted all the trials and temptations put before me, and we succeeded in our plot to free Rakdos. What you have here now is a glorified leech that has risen up to try to suck Ravnica of its life, and in time will himself be consumed by the entity he is in contact with and is exerting mastery over him. As stated before, he has made targeted actions already to support this entity and its companions, and will continue to do so again if risen to the position of guild leader. The claims I am thus putting forth against Sculper are 1. That he's made targeted attacks on the healers and druids of Ravnica. At the same time, a plague has emerged that has mirrored the plagues of the old gods. 2. Sculper has ownership of multiple artifacts related to this entity and is expressed repeated interest in multiple attempts to try to regain these artifacts. 3. That Sculper had undead servants assisting the entity at hidden locations within District 10, and that were supporting this entity's plans. 4. That Sculper had continual direct communion with this entity and served its wills. And 5. That Sculper has attempted to recruit us into the service of this entity.
Clara just breaks down in applause.
All right. First off, Connor, get an inspiration. You have taken good notes. You said that in the way that a Orzhovian contract lawyer would do. Absolutely an inspiration for that.
Hell yeah.
That was actually incredibly impressive.
Yeah. Great fucking job. I would give you more than one if they stacked.
You're my man. You are the DM.
Yeah, oh, fuck. There's one place to put it on your sheet. If you already had an inspiration, you can go up to 2, but if you did not have an inspiration, you just get 1.
I did not. Yeah, I think I used it last session on something stupid.
Well, you get it back. You earned it.
Hell yeah.
And at this point, Asperia goes, "It seems that all that was said was truth. There was some bravado in there, and details missing, but no lies." And then,
No details were missing.
I
Because-
mean, Lizzie, think about it. Connor said that we teleported away from Sculper and then freed Rakdos. There was like a year of campaign between those two things happening.
Yeah, that's not a zone of truth. That's this being the ultimate legal counsel, knowing that he left things out.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you don't need to be magic to be. You need the magic to know that he's not lying. You don't need magic to be like, cool, there are some follow-up questions that we want to ask here. She's just saying, hey, all of that passed the zone of truth.
Yeah, not to mention the whole, like, yeah, we got the Bone Collective. The Bone Collective got petrified. That's all that happened there.
Right?
Yeah,
It was
you know,
It's
we didn't-
petrified now.
we didn't wreck it on the city or anything.
it was a legal transaction with
You
receipts.
what? You did what?
You what?
All right. But after the confirmation that you are not lying, Trostani turns and goes, if this is true, you are the ones who defended the 14 points then?
Yes.
Excluding, and I point to Escher and
Yeah,
Aldrich.
kill that guy.
Gee, thanks.
They were not with us at that time.
Then, regardless of the outcome here, you have my thanks. And the next one who speaks is actually Zagana, the merfolk, who it sounds like it's just bubbles coming out of her mouth, but then almost like echoing a few seconds later, it comes out in common. And she goes, you refer to an entity multiple times that he serves and that you have artifacts for. What entity? That will determine much of the severity of these crimes.
The Dark Blade.
Palmer gets up, give me them fucking artifacts.
Palmer just says, I'll take them all.
I may have started as a simple farm boy, but I need that fucking blade.
I feel like you know this.
I am to the understanding that there are those that have been killed simply for knowing the knowledge of this. I ask that if I reveal that specific information, my companions would be safe from that specific crime, no matter the outcome.
And you see as the guild leaders look at each other, and everybody can give me an insight check, Aldrich with advantage.
Hey, I'm pretty good at those.
Okay.
I know.
There's a die.
I hope
right
that's my
on
die.
it. I can't believe-
21. Nice.
Okay, apparently you can click directly through the
Holy
25.
crap.
Yeah,
All right.
we're gonna catch shit.
Not only do most of you like see through the base level of the DC 10 that
20.
Laura's just picking her nose, like, completely unaware.
Bravo found another snack.
yeah, so it was a DC 10 to realize that the guild leaders are communicating telepathically.
Yeah.
It is DC 20 to start breaking down their like facial expressions and things to see somewhat where they lie. All of you that have the 20 or higher, which is everybody other than Clara or Tavro,
Nice.
you can see pretty much it's breaking out into 3 camps. It looks like there are the ones who seem just a little more like there's like forgiveness on their face. Basically, the insight would say they are willing to give you immunity for this knowledge. There are basically just Gerard, who doesn't seem to be reacting at all. And then there is the camp of Niv Mizzet, Aurelia, and Asperia, who don't seem very forgiving and look more horrified by the prospect And so it's Mizzet, Aurelia, Asperia don't seem to want to let you guys off. Zagana, Trostani, and Rakdos want to let you guys off. Gerard doesn't give a shit.
So,
I gotta write this down.
so it depends on what Gerard really thinks.
It does seem to be that
Right.
there is some sort of a even split at the moment with someone who might be able to be swayed.
Zach,
Yes?
Asperia is the Sphinx, right?
Asperia is the Sphinx. Aurelia is the angel. Mizzet
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
that-
dragon.
I forgot what the Sphinx's name. I want to make sure I had that right.
Everything again, please.
What was that, Lizzie?
Just the 3 camps again,
Yeah,
without
3
detail.
camps again, please.
4 against the neutral.
Yeah, so there are 3 against you, Niv Mizzet, Aurelia, and Asperia. There are 3 in favor of you guys, Trostani, Zagana, and Rakdos. There is 1 that seems undecided, the Lich Gerard. Oh, and unsurprisingly, there is a Sculper who is looking at Fox with unmasked hatred.
He's gonna die soon anyway. It's okay.
Zach, do we have to convince everybody, or is this a majority rule situation?
Guess we're gonna find out.
You're gonna
Do they respond, Zach? After
So-
we...
Yeah, after about a minute of this, Mizzet, who seems to be taking the lead in a lot of this, goes, "Some of us think you should not be persecuted for this. If it is the knowledge that I believe you have, some are in favor of execution to protect Ravnica as a whole. But we are split at the moment. We rescind the question as to who they serve, and we will not persecute you on the assumption that it is who I expect."
Huh, I didn't expect it.
Then I thank you for that mercy. At minimum, I would ask at least to deafen my companions as it is discussed.
Deafen them, as in let them not hear.
I object.
If the entity's name is the only thing in question, then I will take the punishment if you would just deafen them.
Are you to claim that none of them have heard you speak it before now?
I takes a single step forward from the bench and would like to say, are there truly any among you who have a question of who he speaks? It seems to me like you all know the answer already. It may be better to keep our assumptions to ourselves, and you may discuss afterwards. You may even hear it from Sculper himself.
Yes, we believe we know of what you speak. But I have been stayed from executing based on that assumption until this trial is over.
Then I believe we should table this matter until the current is resolved. You may decide what to do with us afterwards for the knowledge of what we possess.
Can, Fox,
Yes?
I myself am not sure. Do any of the artifacts that we have show the symbol of this entity? So that you might show and not tell?
Is it on your eyes?
Yeah.
If any of you say that out loud, I will skin you alive.
Well, what Lizzie said? I didn't hear her.
Yet, aren't you wearing a helmet to not show the tattoos covering your face with this symbol?
Oh, we got the tattoos off.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
The tattoos are off, but his eyes themselves still show the symbol if they are able to see his unobstructed eyes.
Connor,
Daggers.
They will kill
Got it.
you if they see those eyes.
Yeah, and to be clear, if I was not being clear, Niv Mizzet is basically saying as long as you don't say the name until this trial is over, he only has the assumption that it's what he thinks he is. And the other guild leaders have basically stated that's an after this trial issue. If you show the artifacts with the symbol, that is proof of what the entity is.
I see.
Connor,
It's not just speaking the name, it is proof of which entity you are talking about.
I understand. I rescind my.
Yeah, that's why.
Also, I
said-
really have to pee. I'll be back.
That's why I said, like, perhaps you all know of the entity we speak. If you wish to discuss that further, it can wait until after this trial.
Yep.
okay.
Out
So-
of character, Fox is willing to say it, but he doesn't want to make that decision for everyone
Which
else.
is why Kai got up and made a decision.
Okay, out of character, Connor, I have a question for you.
Answer.
I have 2 knives from said entity. Do you think giving them the knives will help them? Confirm
Nope.
what they believe?
That's the equivalent of saying the name.
Is
So
it?
we're saying don't reveal that we actually know what this thing is. They know what we're talking about, and nobody is saying it out loud, and we're gonna keep it that way.
Because if they are demanding confirmation, I will give it to them and tell them I literally don't know the entity's name. I just have been holding on to these things so they don't fall into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Because I can tell they're
don't
powerful.
think we need to tell them that.
Yeah, because they'll say you are the wrong hands. Take your hands.
Then I'll say, then you take them.
Well, let's just not do that.
I mean, I think you proclaiming that you do not know the entity's name at least gives some credence that I haven't been going around like, hey, you guys like the Gilded Eye?
Well, Escher, I think, actually can say he doesn't know the name.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I do. I don't think it's ever been told
Kai
to me.
cannot. Kai has been told exactly what this is.
Yeah, I actually am pretty sure that everybody other than Escher has heard the name because of when Vinny joined.
I don't think I've heard the name.
See, you're the one I'm not sure about because of some of your mind readiness.
Gotcha.
But
Still, can we go back in character and say we progressed with what Kai said?
All in favor.
Aye.
then we shall stay that issue unless it is confirmed until after the issue of the Orzhovian Ascension.
And Kai will take a seat again.
Does anyone else have any questions for... And he turns to you, Fox. Name.
Fox Machine, Knight of Lapidity.
Does anyone else have any questions for Fox Machine, Knight of Lapidity, before we turn to the accused? And it's going to take a second, and then Aurelia turns and goes, you brought up that your goal was to free Rakdos, coinciding with the time that my general was assassinated by his guild. Were you a part of that, and do you know what happened?
Out of character, I think it's not lying to say we actually don't know,
No, we
right?
don't know, 'cause we were just in the court the whole time, right?
No,
No, this was
this
before
happened
the crypt.
before the crypt, but our plan to go to the crypt was before that happened.
I will say no, we had no part in it, and I do not know anything that would be beyond baseless speculation.
And after a moment, Asperia speaks up again and goes, "Truth. It seems it was just coincidence for that piece, Aurelia." Then Aurelia goes, "Very well. In that case, move on to the accused." And then Mizzet, "So, Sculper, what have you to say in your defense? Do you reject these claims?" And Sculper will go, "Much of what he says is the truth. I would like to say otherwise, but magics are currently stopping me from doing so. He does not have all of the details. But yes, what he accuses me of in having contact with another who helped me with my ascension to lichdom and has helped me guide my plans for petition of the Orzhovian guild leader. I was not alone in that. Though I don't see the crime in seeking help. I am accused...
Banned deity? Sorry, that is not in character, obviously.
I am accused of seeking help in which I do not reject. I put forth that I have not broken any laws, in that I have received help. And if I can't even be accused of the specific entity that is supposedly the problem here, it seems my only crime was that of summoning the Bone Collective in the Overcity. That is a crime that I can stand trial for, but I don't believe it would disqualify me from guild leadership.
Yes, and yet, yes, we have all had help. But come on, what's the crime in that? Everything
Yes, I have been in contact with the dark gods.
That's the thing.
New gods, who's to say?
Fuck, now his voice is Donald Trump. It can't be undone. We're retconning anything he's said up until now, and it is in a Trump accent. Or Trump impression. "You see, my lord, I am but a humble servant of Ravnica. And I have done many big, good things for Ravnica. Which is why I should be the next guild leader of the Azorius. And all of these people who are calling me a crook and spreading the fake news about me, nothing that they have accused me of is all that wrong."
I like how Zach's Donald Trump impression is just Christopher Walken.
Okay, well, I'm not good at it.
It was a good Christopher Walken. It's the weird part.
Which is so funny because we already have a Christopher Walken.
All NPCs return to Christopher Walken. Come on, Niv Walken and Rack Walken.
Can I?
Hey, Zach, do any of the council respond to claims?
I was gonna ask if I can ask him a question, or is it just the council members?
I'd wait.
You can ask a question if you want.
I gently raise my hand to. May I ask a question, please?
And the guild leaders kind of all turn to look at you, and Niv Mizzet says, "There's no law against it.
Mrs. Skulker, if the identity of the entity who helped you were revealed here, what do you believe would be the reaction of this council?
And he looks and he goes, I cannot truly say.
Please, I beg you.
I
Please, no,
cannot
Lord, go
predict
back to
the
regular
future.
voice.
Control Z, Control Z.
All four, all to four.
Okay, we can go back to Sculper's original voice.
Stop doing that, you weird. Why are you doing that? You're on trial. Why are you doing that voice, man?
I cannot say for certain what the reaction of all of the guild leaders are. I don't have knowledge of specifically how they would react.
Would you be able to give your best estimation, at least?
And he kind of looks around at the guild leaders, like basically looking, pleading at, like, do I have to answer this? And then Asperia goes, you are accused and you are defending yourself. Not answering truthfully here could be seen as an admission of guilt. And he takes a second and he goes, my best guess is that it would not go very well for me, nor would it go well for any of you. After a second, Asperia goes, he speaks the truth.
Also, Zach, can we go back just like a minute? I realized I mixed two of the names up, so I have information for something I didn't think I had.
Sure, you can have thrown something in.
It was the Boros Guild leader who asked about the dead general, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I confused the two A names with the Sphinx. Could I actually like speak up and say, yes, we had nothing to do with Feather's death, but on what's the word? Sorry, I'm blanking on the English language. But in our travels, we came upon a Rakdos member whose base had the. Sorry, I'm really blanking on how to say this. The resting place of Feather's wings were there. I do not know why or how, but I reported all of this to Printa Machine at the 6th District Guild Hall or whatever district it was, and was told I might be leading an expedition there. But that is the full extent of what we know.
Yes, it was the finding of those wings that helped confirm our assumption that it was the cult of Rakdos who had assassinated her. If you were the one to have discovered that, then I applaud your efforts in your detective work for the guild.
Yeah, and I'll give a low nod.
All right, so back to Sculper.
Back to Sculper.
Yeah.
Niv Mizzet goes, it seems we are in a catch-22. None of you can speak the name of this entity without confirming a lethal assumption, and we cannot act on our almost certain assumption that the entity is one of whom we believe it to be. Does anyone have a proposition for resolving this?
Can I lean over and kind of nudge Fox a little bit and be like, Fox, would you mind if I say a word to the council? I know this is more your job, but I have a way with words.
If you can't convince them, I have my last words in my pocket. I'll hand them to you.
And I'd Uh, I, I think I know what they are, and I'd rather you didn't. And Escher is going to take a step forward from standing next to Fox and say, "If it would please the council, I would wish to speak a few words, if that would be all right."
Sculper, have you any further defense before we hand it back to your accusers? And he takes a moment before just shaking his head. Proceed.
Wonderful. Well, greetings, council, and it is an honor to be standing here before you. My name is Dr. Escher Agarius. I am a clinician, a scientist, and a physician that works within the CIMIC. And I turn and I nod to the to mermaid mommy.
That is her official title, Mermaid Mommy. So she appreciates your deferral to her full name.
But I do kind of give like a bow to her, like a small one. And I continue. I have been traveling with this group for quite some time, and I think I have gained to know them quite well, and I think I have a rather rudimentary understanding of what's going on here, but there is something that I wish to know. It seems as though naming this entity would prove fatal for most of us, and as would be your right to do so, so let us try and avoid that. Perhaps if naming the entity is off the table, what about describing the nature of it? Would that be accessible to us? And I look directly to Niv Mizzet.
The issue here is that knowledge of this entity is illegal to spread and know. We cannot name it, for then we would be giving you that knowledge. You cannot prove that you know it, for then you would prove that you have that knowledge.
But would it not stand that if we were simply to describe the nature of an entity, it wouldn't be known which one we are talking about? We could be describing a different entity with similar characteristics, could we not?
You could, but then how would that be proof against the accused?
Excellent. I am glad you asked. There was actually something that Sculper mentioned that rather intrigued me, and I'm surprised that it hasn't been mentioned thus far. Well,
I'm glaring daggers at Escher right now.
to one of the questions, Sculper mentioned that he answered his question to the best of his knowledge, and oh god, what's her name? The Sphinx.
Asperia.
And Asperia claimed that to be true, but that word stuck with me. Knowledge. Sculper mentioned that he sought knowledge from whatever this entity that Fox was referring to was. Sculper himself confirmed that. What he didn't confirm was the nature of that help. It is my understanding that creatures of power and creatures that are of a greater sense than most mortals tend to not give that power out freely. Which leads me to conclude Sculper must have given something in return. I simply wish to know what that was.
A fair question, Sculper. And you see as he once again kind of looks uncomfortably around and goes, I have pledged services in exchange for the knowledge on becoming a lich.
Pretty vague.
And then Niv Mizzet like looks over at Tavro and then he goes, yes, that is pretty vague. Continue speaking.
There's no crime in participating in capitalism. That is what our great country was founded on.
There was no quid pro quo.
Yes, I may have dealt with the Dark Gods, but no, I do not know the Dark God's name.
Next world.
My fingers were crossed during the whole ordeal.
I want to hear what Sculper says.
I pledged that if I were able to become a guild leader, I would return the favor of this knowledge by granting them sway over Ravnica. I don't know exactly what that would entail yet, as it was an open-ended favor for the point at which I became a guild leader. And after a moment, Asperia goes, "The truth."
Sculper, is that fully all you know of this deal?
Gods for being a guild leader?
Yeah, that sounds like a bad. That's a bad.
Ooh, Sculper, my dude, not good,
And-
not good.
Sculper goes, "It is hard to tell exactly what knowledge you are looking for. Yes,
No, I'm simply referring to the knowledge that you have on the deal that you made personally. Is that fully that is what you said fully the truth and all the knowledge that you have on that deal?
to be more explicit, the deal is that I would use my power gained through their help to grant them influence over Ravnica."
Might I direct a question to the Perun Niv Mizzet?
Speak.
You seem to be the most hostile and insistent that knowledge of these extra Ravnican entities is to be met with death. Why is this knowledge so dangerous?
I don't think we should know the answer to that.
Well, to the
So
best
you
that
have
you would be able
chosen
to,
death.
to the best that you could explain to us. Is there any way you can describe the danger of this knowledge to us?
The danger is... It is difficult to describe without revealing too much. Let it suffice that knowledge of these entities is dangerous to Ravnica itself. Therefore, the guild leaders are executioners of those who somehow gain that knowledge.
Perun Niv Mizzet, that is actually a wonderful answer and exactly what I was hoping you would say. Simple knowledge of these entities is enough to warrant death. You have only proven that this is information which must be kept under wraps, and that these entities are, one, not to be trusted, and two, present a danger to Ravnica themselves. Within this conversation, we've also confirmed, without a doubt, from Sculper himself, that he is seeking ulterior motives in his ascension to being head of the Orzhov, and that in giving him power, you would also be giving power to an entity which is so dangerous, knowing its name would warrant us mortals to death. Is all of this accurate?
Yes.
Intriguing. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Does either party have any further accusations or defense?
Yeah, I might. Let me finish whispering to Fox. Fox, what do you think? Well, final. All right. I do have one last thing to put forth. And as I look to everyone around me, Sculper, specifically in regards to the help you were given in exchange for influence over Ravnica, that help, no other help. If that help isn't from a banned old god, then you should be able to name them without punishment. So what is their name?
He already claimed that his help is from an old god.
Oh, he didn't.
I thought he did. He said he agreed that it was from.
Because I think all the quote unquote old gods are banned.
He just said an entity.
Yeah.
This is the first time old god has actually been brought up.
Okay. I thought there was an.
That's kind of what people were tiptoeing around, whether or not it is an old god.
Oh, so Tavra's gonna die.
Well, here I'm kind of
Knowledge that there were old gods is common. Knowledge of details about them is what is heavily restricted.
Yeah, sure. It is the charge of the Orzhov to deal with and suppress the old gods. At least that was our original intention.
All right, let me rephrase the question. If that god, if that help that I'm talking about specifically is not from an old god, what is their name?
And he takes
either he says a name and it's revealed that he's lying, or he can't say it without punishment.
Tavro, take an inspiration, because that is a force. That is a forced confession. And he takes a second and he goes,
I'm gonna plug my ears.
and he goes, you accuse it of being an old god. I cannot speak their name without revealing that to be true.
Hey, motherfucker!
And then, as Niv Mizzet goes, very well. We shall execute Sculper, and then continue the discussion of the Orzhov. And as he says that, and all of the people start moving, I need everybody to roll initiative, not necessarily for combat, but because things are going to be happening in order.
Well,
you still have that advantage. Oh, there's no combat. You still have the advantage, because this might be
Well,
one of the more important.
This would. So everybody roll initiative.
Sounds like I'm gonna need this one. Hold on.
Someone's got a 20.
Fucking 20.
Oh, somebody moved it.
Oh, I got a 20.
Fine.
I love rolling that 20s on initiative.
I can't. Oh, there I am. I am initiative order.
That's a lot of dice.
Hey, there's a lot of NPCs.
I did.
Ooh, anarchy.
Oh, I actually got
What
a-
does that mean?
That was, he's actually gotten a better title since I created his stat block, but that was that is what he was known as when you first encountered him. You never really followed that storyline, so you didn't find that out, but he was commonly being referred to as the Anarch Hunter.
Zach, is this an appropriate time for the objection music?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I have a feeling somebody's about to object, so...
All right, Kai, you are the first to react. What would you like to do?
Alright, so I was using the bathroom when you announced that we were rolling initiative. What just happened?
Opera force confession.
Oh, yeah, I basically forced him into a confession. I juked him.
And then Niv visits
Here,
like,
I'll hold on. I'll copy the conversation between me and Connor that I was whispering to see like if it was a good idea, so you can see.
Yep.
basically,
Basically,
I consulted an
There you
old
go.
one, and then they said, well, that's it, like, now you must die, and then initiative.
exactly.
Yeah. So they've chosen to execute him. We got this.
I will. Zach.
Yeah.
This is something.
Right.
This is something I would absolutely know. is there any kind of decorum at Azorius' executions?
It is often a lengthy legal procedure. There have to be multiple witnesses. It is usually done by a specific officer within the Orzhov. It is almost always done in the primary execution hall in Precinct 1.
But like for like those present, is there any kind of like demeanor that I should have?
Where it's suit and tie.
I mean,
Like,
it's usually
would I,
somewhat
like, or
So it's usually ceremonial in that it is a beheading and then an immediate indenturing of the soul by an Orzhovian cleric.
That's interesting. I actually would like to pipe up and ask if there is a cleric on. Let me say this again. As they say that he's going to execute him, I'm going to look directly to Asperia and say, is there a cleric on site that can handle the soul extraction?
Funny thing about
I don't think you can't.
And she responds, I am no cleric, but I am perfectly capable of sealing the soul.
I believe her.
Yeah. Yep. And in that case, I know you said that this isn't usually what happens, but I'm going to immediately take a knee as I watch.
Fair enough.
No readied actions or anything.
As you take the knee and the first round of combat ends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 legendary actions trigger.
Excuse me?
So what determines the order for legendary actions?
I'm going to do it based on their existing initiative order, so Aurelia will go first.
Okay.
We're about to see some real power.
But why? Nothing happened.
Yeah, they're gonna try to execute him before he can do anything.
Yeah, Sculper started chanting the second that the second that he admitted. He has started
Oh,
casting
he
something.
did?
Yeah.
I did. Oh,
Yeah, we didn't hear that part.
Oh.
that was never said.
It was, but maybe my mic cut out. I am so sorry. Yeah, no, Sculper is chanting some shit.
Gotcha. Heard.
That is why we started initiative order, because the announcement that he is being executed was met with him beginning to cast something.
See,
I see.
I heard we're just rolling initiative. Nothing has happened, but it might determine the order of things.
Well, yeah, sorry. It was more of like a, hey, if Sculper is going first, that determines things a lot different from do the guild leaders execute him first.
Okay, Sculper is towards the bottom of initiative, so I will say that I do not change what I do given that information.
Fair enough.
Surely this is enough.
But Kai doesn't have that information.
Well, I can see that he's chanting shit.
He do have human ears still.
He doesn't know that he's bottom of initiative.
Hi, I have a
Okay,
fixed idea.
but-
Ready? You just become full dragon.
Now is your time.
This is
Strike
the
him down.
perfect chance.
Oh my god.
So Aurelia begins by sending out a helix of energy. And it slams into Sculper, who is still alive, but immediately begins burning. Next up is Niv Mizzet, who is going to...
One of them will wipe our entire party.
Correct.
Yes, imagine what they're gonna do to one guy.
One pretty powerful guy, but like, still.
I just want to mention, it's been like 2.5 boss fights before our last long rest.
This is true. Clark.
Okay, this might not be a boss fight. This is just bosses fighting.
Yeah, fair enough.
Spectators around.
I'm just saying, if he survives these legendary actions, there's...
I'm gonna be real. I think we can probably just sit back and watch Zach roll dice against himself.
Oh,
and
he
we'll be
failed.
fine.
Get fucked.
That's 74 damage.
26.
I love you, Niv Mizzet. You're my favorite Peru.
Yeah, so across Aurelia and Niv Mizzet, I think once Zagana goes, there's not going to be a Sculper left.
Fuck.
We did it. We saved the...
They're gonna turn to us and be like, so, you clearly knew about the old gods.
So anyway.
Oh, that one didn't roll for some reason.
Oh my god, it's deluge.
Yeah, it doesn't even show Sculper's roll, it just has him as green.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, we need to get the fuck out of here.
I'm scared.
That's my mom.
With Goblin. Mom, can you come pick me up? I'm scared.
He only takes half on that one.
A 1 and a 20.
So he actually survives long enough for Asperias to go off.
Another one.
Oh, this ain't gonna end well.
Oh, this is nice. I'm glad we could do this together, guys.
This has been my favorite D&D combat I've ever been a part of.
This group of us are just like locking arms on the side.
I haven't touched my mouse in like 10 minutes, and we're gonna win.
Like passing it around like it's popcorn.
And then, yeah, Asperia is
Can I
going...
cast- Oh, Zach, I have a question.
Yeah?
I just want to know what he's thinking. Can I cast Detect Thoughts on him? As
You know
he's
what?
dying?
Sure, you can have that as he's dying.
Wait,
Jesus Christ.
is that not an action?
I will say that...
Oh.
Okay, yep, he
Oh,
failed,
they weren't going- My mistake. I didn't realize this was legendary actions. I thought it was in
No,
order
this is all the
as-
legendary
so what's
actions.
happening?
So, yeah, with the failed against the divine word, he disintegrates.
Wait,
Sculper is dead.
holy.
Seal the soul. Bravo.
Azure just looks to Fox and goes, "What the fuck just happened?"
He's a lich, he doesn't die!
There is a phylactery that you might have to worry about.
No, there's a phylactery they need to worry about. Too bad. There's nobody on this council that would know anything about phylacteries.
Wait.
I think they have this covered.
No, wait, do we know that a phylactery is a thing for a lich?
You might not.
Warring leader.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, we're not worrying about it. We have no fucking clue.
I imagine the guy who literally creates liches
You know what?
Yeah, he's a lich.
Yeah, the
No,
actual lich will know about how lichdom works.
I am going to go with the because it was the divine word obliterating the soul because he had less than 20 hit points when it happened from the person who is able to seal souls. I don't think he ever makes it back to his phylactery. I think his soul is just obliterated.
We did it, boys. Pack it up.
Or so you say.
You know what? That'll be a conversation with the lich who is also a guild leader, but yeah, we're gonna end the combat there.
Thank God.
As you all see as he starts chanting and Kai takes a knee, and then holy fire and divine words and disintegration magic and the arms of merfolk are summoned from the ground, and he is literally just, he starts chanting, and before he is able to finish his first phrase of whatever spell he was casting, he is completely obliterated.
Holy fuck, Kai, why don't you do that more?
Clearly, this was me taking a knee that channeled all of this power.
Yeah.
It's the end of the campaign. We did it. Bravo. We did it.
The town is saved.
Yay.
Straight up.
He's obliterated. But my question is,
Hey.
similar to Mr. Taz, is there any like lingering fuzz in the air?
There is nothing.
Okay.
Like, you were when things die, you can see the like psionic essence of their soul as it leaves their body. There is nothing. He was obliterated.
Sick.
So is this when we sell out the Azorius perks so that's a double agent?
I was asked by the Azorius to be a double agent, so I'm sticking with that.
We did it. We won.
Anyway,
Straight up, that's not how I was expecting that to go. Good job, guys.
How are you expecting it to go?
We did it! Hey, Esther, why do I hear boss music all of a sudden?
You don't. This is we won the lawsuit. This part of the Ace Attorney soundtrack.
Yeah, so
The 7,000 steps frost troll.
So Niv-Mizzet turns to Gerard and goes, confirm the destruction of his soul and that there is no lingering pieces that can return. And Gerard makes his way up to the body.
Really
There's a
quick,
body?
we talked about this before, but who's been the guild leader of Rakdos while Rakdos was chased out?
Technically, Rakdos was still the guild leader, but the Blood Witches were doing all of the Blood Witches and the demonic nobles were basically running it.
Is it safe to say Rakdos may have been king, but the Blood Witches were the prime ministers?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm saying that Clara should have had a vote on this council.
No.
No.
Sounds fake.
And after a moment of Gerard chanting over the body, he goes, the soul was destroyed. We don't need to worry about a phylactery.
Yay! Soul was destroyed. Woo!
And then Niv-Mizzet goes, good. Now, before we elect a new Orzhovian guild leader, and he turns back to the party. So you did know it was an old god then? And you claim that you have contacted the same entity that he did.
Change the music.
I
I'm really trying. Hold on.
Why can't I? Pat, I'm trying to stop you. You stop
I
it.
got this. I got this. Let me do this.
Is this when Clara admits that Hikara was communing with a different old god and we destroyed her? Doing so?
Dang it, that is not the song I thought it was. Hold on.
I will turn to Escher and be like, it was nice to meet you, and go for a hug.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but there, we did it. Good job.
do I answer? Because I don't think. Oh, sorry.
Anybody who wants can answer.
I'm
You are
gonna-
being
no, no,
accused
I was
as a
saying-
group.
Oh, go ahead.
I was asking the group the question, like, because I don't think Aldrich knows that old god specifically.
I will answer, but as I hug Escher, I'm gonna slip him my Mr. Taz coin.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes, correct.
Why, Pat?
because we're all people that we
Wait.
see know.
This is about the Sculper.
Wait, Fox, what are you doing?
And at this point,
Second legendary actions go off.
no, not until we go back into initiative order. Rakdos goes immediately. Wait. Or wait, I actually still have his
Voice changer. Wait! Asperia confirmed he was not lying when he resisted the temptations that Sculper went into. He is a member of the Orzhov. We need a new leader, and the guild leader would be informed of such things. If he truly has been able to resist all temptation,
To be the guild leader. Fuck this shit.
Okay,
Man.
So upset.
Maybe let the DM finish the sentence and we'll know.
if it is true that he has resisted all temptations of an old god,
That's not fucking true.
I petition that we put forth Fox as guild leader of the Azori. Of the Orzhov, not the Azorius, fuck. And
I object.
if he is found to be a proper leader,
Contacted old gods.
Regularly.
we acquit him of the crime of his contact.
Does this mean Fox immediately becomes a level 20?
no. But you see as immediately it goes back to psychic communications and not allowed. But it seems that for the moment, you've at least been bought some time. You are not about to be executed while they are discussing. As Rakdos, as a kind of last-second attempt to save you guys, puts forward Fox as next guild leader of the Orzhov.
What the fuck?
Hey, I didn't say it's happening. I said he put that forward to save you guys.
Fox, a word for a moment.
Yes.
Is there any possibility that what the big man says is true? Can they make you the leader of the Orzhov?
I think so.
Are you qualified for that?
I am a.
Wait, we're still under the zone of truth, Connor.
You are.
Are you qualified, Connor? Fox, are you qualified?
I think it would technically skip over the bishop stage, but
Yeah, you don't really know because the Orzhov is one of the few where there has never been an election or an appointment of a new guild leader. It's just been passed down between the ghostly noble families, which all seem to have been stripped of their power when the Collector was released.
Well, Fox, with this new knowledge, there's two considerations here. One, to lead the Orzhov, do you need to be a ghost?
we can hit that hurdle when we hit it.
You're right.
You're right.
Now for the old gods, undead. I think there's somebody else who should be in
Let's-
the Orzhov.
You're right. Let's worry about the more pressing matter. What if they don't agree?
I have two propositions.
Alright.
Either that low chance goes through, or I put myself forward to take the blame and guilt for everything, and you guys leave.
No, that won't work. We'll figure something else out. Give me a minute. I'll come up with something.
No, Escher, I think it's Will.
Alright. I suppose I misspoke. You're right, it would work, but it's not the only thing that would work. Just give me a few minutes, I'll think of something.
It takes a few minutes of telepathic deliberation, but I am going to have
Sorry, one of
each.
us becoming the guild leader just warranted a sandstorm.
I'm going to kill you for this.
But unless somebody interferes, Rakdos is going to make a persuasion check against the charisma save DC of all of the other guild leaders.
Does he want a guidance?
And depending on the split of the overall difference will determine things.
Can I use my inspiration to give him advantage?
Rakdos, by the nature of being Rakdos, automatically has advantage on all persuasion and intimidation and deception checks.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
Can I
Does
give
he
my
want a
inspiration to Niv
guidance?
Mizzet to get Connor's ass killed?
So, does anybody want to actually do anything? Because it's about 4 or 5 minutes of telepathic deliberation between them before the roll.
No, Escher's scribbling things down furiously and keeps crossing things out. He's trying to figure out what to do if they don't agree with them. But unless, I don't know, unless Rakdos wants to shake my hand and I pass him a guidance, I'm not going to interrupt them. That sounds like immediate death.
Yeah, I'll be straight up. If you go up and touch one of them during this, it's death.
Just walk up to Rakdos. Thanks, pal. Put her there. No, I'm not going to do shit.
There another being you might be able to put up that knows more about, I mean, not to discredit your knowledge of the Orzhov, but I don't know that this is something we can handle. That you can handle.
Holy shit, Aurelia has a plus 17.
Wait,
what?
Goodness, they got a nat 1.
Holy fuck, they got a nat 1 and rolled an 18.
Wow.
Yeah, they have a plus 17 to their save because they have a 30 charisma.
Holy fuck.
And they are proficient in it. All right. This is a pretty high group DC for Rakdos.
Asperia thinks it's a fantastic idea.
He did roll highest.
You fucking kidding me?
Wow.
All right, so this is going to depend on the difference between them, what the actual result is. So, 3 of them, Asperia, Gerard, and Aurelia, are in favor of allowing Fox to petition for guild leader. Niv Mizzet. Yeah, okay. Niv Mizzet and Zagana do not petition for guild leader, but they are willing to let the group live with the backup plan that Rakdos proposed over that few minutes. Tristani is willing to go with the group decision.
So you're telling me
That sounds
you're
good.
gonna Come, we live.
So you guys all live this. Unless you
Okay.
say something to fuck yourselves over, Rakdos just convinced them to let you live with this knowledge.
I am a mere member and I overthrew the entire guild.
That is one
Death to
more-
Kai!
I can cross that
Pablo,
out.
can you hand me that orb you love?
Okay. So that.
Oh,
that
Connor,
out.
are you talking about the Gilded Eye? It just clicked for me. Oh, you love that guy.
Wait, do you mean my artifact that communes with the old god of destruction, the worm god, or do you
Hey,
mean the one
hey.
you commune with?
Rakdos told me he's specifically not one of the Nephilim.
Yes.
Okay.
So there are the old gods, which are illegal to know of, and then there are basically gods that have just faded out, and those are more god-like entities. So Ilharg, Korgeth, Anzrag, those are ones where it is well established that they are like no longer around, but also knowledge of them is still known and not forbidden. There are specifically 5 that it is forbidden. Glintai being one of them.
Moonbreed.
Yep, Dunebreed is another.
Sorry, this is going to be a complete tangent, just for 1 second. Apparently, Deadpool is trying to one-up the Dune popcorn bucket. That is all.
Wait. What's trying to one of the Doom popcorn bucket?
Zach,
It could be a
Yeah.
full ass, or it could be like an actual flush.
Zach, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, Tavra first.
Maroon,
this might actually be a point in our favor. Would I know more of the not banned gods other than, or quote unquote gods, other than Korgeth?
Give me either a religion or a history check.
Yeah. They're both the same. I'll give religion. I will use my inspiration on this. Well, all right, Zach, I already had an inspiration and you gave me one. If I use this one, can I just get it back?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. 18?
18 is enough to identify one name from your memory, mostly because it is one that is still widely revered amongst the some of the Gruul clans, being Ilharg the Raiseboar.
Yeah. Can after like Nizik is going like you do know about the old gods and they're talking for a while they're doing that, can Tavro just like look over at Aldrich and just be like sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I was like, man, aren't there people who openly worship Ilharg? I thought that that's banned? What? As if those were the old gods I was talking about or something like that.
Gotcha.
Wait, yeah, you're right. Like, they
Okay.
do openly do that.
Escher, what were you gonna ask?
just remind me. So, which vote out of all the Peruns has the majority currently?
So right now the majority by 1 is to allow, basically to allow Fox to put forth a claim to become guild leader. They're not like voting for him. They are just
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
yeah. They
So in that
are
case-
in favor of him allowing him the opportunity to.
So, if it's majority, is there any reason he can't do that now?
So
If the majority,
that's what they're about to say.
oh, okay.
Like up until now was kind of just out of character. I'm letting you know what those roles meant.
Mhm.
Now, Niv Mizzet, if what Rakdos has told us is true, and given the magic on this shrine, it must be for now. There are 2 things that will happen. One affects all of you. The other affects one of you. For the one, Fox Machine, Knight of Lepidophy. A new guild leader of the Orzhov is needed. And you will be allowed to put forth your name and petition for that position. It is not immediately to be granted, and you must prove yourself worthy of it. Petition yourself as Sculper did, at which point we may elect you. But you have the right to do so. For all of you, the Lord of Riots has confirmed you have forbidden knowledge. He has also confirmed at this time and convinced us certain individuals with such knowledge may be necessary. If there are truly multiple entities going around attempting to resurrect and reinstate the Nephilim, we will need those with knowledge of the situation to deal with it, as much as I don't like it. As it stands, you all are the ones with this knowledge, and we prefer not to spread it further.
What knowledge?
Given your actions to this point, we are allowing you to have this information, though spreading it is still executable behavior. You will work for us to reforge the Guild Pact and seal away the Nephilim, getting rid of those who still carry their influence in Ravnica. And by doing so, allowing yourselves to live.
That's what we're about to do anyway.
Laura's gonna salute to them.
Oh, I mean, solemn nod, solemn nod.
Do you accept this charge to rid Ravnica once again of the influence of the old gods, the Nephilim, and allow us to reforge the Guild Pact, sealing them away once more?
Now they're just throwing names.
I'm willing to claim it was our goal the whole time.
Kai like takes a step forward and like does a slight bow, and he says, "Absolutely, I do."
Likewise for me. It sounded, from what Perun Rakdos was saying to us before we came here, that was already going to be the plan.
And my bombs.
And your brother!
And my dragon spear. I mean, my dagger.
In case they need to hear it, I will explicitly tell them that my goal has been to fight them the entire time. Now I just have a name to my enemy, so I agree to these terms.
Only half true.
Technically, it's not.
I will agree.
The one at the forefront of this conflict says softly, "Yeah, I agree."
Yeah.
Well, he might have bigger responsibilities. So.
Yep.
Very well. This is now your prime directive. Fox Machine, Knight of Lepidophy. Do you put yourself forward and petition yourself as next guild leader of the Orzhov?
Answer the big kitty cat, Fox.
Connor, that's you.
Yes.
Very well.
You didn't have to answer. For everyone not in this room, Connor just made a coin flipping gesture and then asked Katie heads or tails.
Very well. What we shall do is as follows. We shall reconvene in 1 week's time. If you and your party are able to seal away at least one of the Nephilim in that time, we shall consider you the next guild leader. Or you may spend that time coming up with another reason why you should be next.
I'll just deeply bow and say I accept these terms.
Let it be known, if it is found that you spread knowledge of this situation to anyone not currently present in this room, we will execute you. You saw what happened with Sculper. We have the capability.
We said
It's-
that you're capable of making good decisions.
We will reconvene in 1 week's time. I suggest you do not fail.
Fox, excuse me, Fox, possible future guild leader, Fox.
Yeah.
They want to reconvene in 1 week. What about that, what was his name? Collector said, Devil, Freed, coming for Orzhov power?
I will just point to the ghost and be like, I think the power's already gone.
Yeah, that already happened, my man. We missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's we might still have to worry about the collector, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that's as immediate a threat as it once was.
No, but in that week it might come for this position.
It doesn't
Alright.
believe in the guild pact.
Alright, hear me out. Strategizing time. Rakdos has big fucking persuasion skills. We just have to suck his dick enough that he
Connor,
agrees to be forward.
Connor,
Error's opinion on this because
Connor,
the fucking plus 17.
Connor, did you just say that he doesn't believe in the guild pact?
The collector? Yeah.
Neither did Sculper.
I think we have a pretty solid case against them.
Against the collector?
Yeah.
I see. Here's my concern: is that it decides that the best way to destroy them is from the inside, tries to become a part of them, somehow learns that that Connor's petitioning to be the head of Orzhov, decides, fuck it, I'll kill him myself, and we don't get to seal these things away.
I think for the next week, like, it is a while, but I think we stay close to here. Because this is a very important decision. We cannot be distracted by other things in this week.
But how can we assume that what we're looking for is around here?
We have
What do we
two
look
cathedrals that we knew they were sealed under, so we have to probably first go to each of those cathedrals to check, okay, what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, the way I'm looking at this is we kind of have to get distracted in this week because we're trying to seal these fuckers away if possible. More of, if there's also a chance that the collector could be out to prevent that because it stops you from being the guild leader. So it might be in our benefit to ask if, as the newest employees of the Peruns, if we get any kind of benefits or support through them.
Don't say prunes, they're not all prunes.
Whatever they are, guild leaders, call them whatever you want. These are the most powerful people in the world. We're willing to help them, but we have entities equal in power to at least one of them, which obviously we don't say out loud, but I wouldn't mind some help dealing with that. If we're gonna deal with sealing away these elder gods, maybe they can help us not have to worry about the collector trying to murder us in the meantime.
Yeah.
Connor, this would be up to you because you kind of have the most sway here and you know the most about it, and he's coming for you more than anybody. So I don't know if you want to bring that up, but it might be worth mentioning at least to Rakdos.
Yeah, we also don't really know where to find a Nephilim right now.
No, but neither do they, so they're not going to be able to help us with that.
So really quick question for Zach because I don't take notes.
Fair.
So when we killed Hakara, didn't we think that was the source of the plague, like
No.
the blood magic?
No.
So she was gaining some power from one of these Nephilim.
Yep.
That is not, she was not the source. She was perpetuating it just as Sculper was the glint eye and the glint eye was trying to make Connor do. And as Mr. Taz was for a different one of them who I think you got the name of.
We were trying to get the tongue because the tongue is what had the power to stop the plague.
According to the Demir.
According to what the information we had.
That's another point, but I don't think we don't deal with that right now.
I think the Demir are not much of a concern at this exact second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't this great, guys? We don't have to be part of the Demir anymore.
I mean, the other thing is the Demir could still be fully integrated with the Nephilim.
Counterpoint
They
is
absolutely could, but the Demir can be pulling strings with literally anything we do.
There is one thing that I think might be an immediate concern for us.
Long rest for the love of fucking gods.
Yes, we know. We
Yeah, Taro's like quivering and like we're going to a fucking inn. We're taking a power coma, and if we don't do that,
how do we get an audience with them again?
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
How do we get an audience with them again?
That's an excellent question.
That is something we need to figure out, so that way, if we find out information, we come to them so they know they can trust us.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think they want to deal with us underlings for another week.
They might not,
One
but
of them, the Demir leader.
we still would we need to know how to get in contact with them if we can. If we should just go to Rakdos again, or if we can resummon the council, we gotta know how that works.
Do you say that to them?
I'm saying Fox should ask that to them. Go on. Oh, Captain, my captain, ask the question. Get up there. Take the stand.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well, I do, so fuck it. I will ask Zach. I'll fucking stand up and ask him then. Asher will just stand up and be like, excuse me, I do have a question for you, for all you, powerful guild leaders who smote that guy in an instant.
Speak.
As we are now dedicated to working under your service, let it be known that we shall work towards the goals you set out for us. However, should we need to contact one or all of you again, is that going to be a possibility for us? We can't share this information with anybody else, but we'd like to update you if we discover something before that 1 week period.
A fair point. And Niv Mizzet holds out like a claw, and you all kind of hear like a gurgling sound from behind you, and you see as one of the ghosts in that are like shackled to the pews just disintegrates, and a stone floats from where it was and then plops in your hand. The Orzhovian Council sending stone. You may hold on to it until a new leader is chosen. Don't abuse it.
I'm familiar with regular sending stones. Where is the other sending stone for this one?
Not needed.
All guild leaders have one stone in their possession that connects to all of the others.
Oh. Understood. I'm just gonna take a step back, hand the stone to Fox, and say, I think you'll be needing this at some point.
Thank you.
Well, within a week it will be yours, so
Yeah, so,
get used to
Fox,
holding it now.
add a guild leader sending stone to your inventory. And then, Aldrich, because you're specifically like tuned into this, you see another telepathic connection line open up between Rakdos and Niv Mizzet, like in particular. And Niv Mizzet, after a second, lets out like a really deep sigh and goes, Rakdos makes a point. The Peruns among us have some knowledge as to where the Nephilim were sealed. None of us fully knows, so as to protect us from accidentally revealing it to anyone else. But each pair of Peruns had a clue as to where to find one of the sealed Nephilim. As the only two here that are Peruns, Rakdos and I will share our riddle to help you find the resting place of one Nephilim. The others we do not yet know. And 1 second, I gotta pull up my notes for the exact wording of this.
Yeah, hold on. Will you give me a minute so I can start typing?
Yeah, I got my journal out.
It's a scavenger hunt.
Pizza.
It is, in fact, pizza, 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 pizza.
What a
You did it.
A bunch of bitches been like, might know where these are. Let's leave riddles for ourselves to identify them. Wouldn't that be cheeky? What a bunch of bastards.
It was less, let's leave riddles for ourselves, and it's more of, it's dangerous for even us to know where this is sealed, but to completely get rid of that knowledge is also dangerous. So let's hide it behind two of the Peruns having to work together to figure it out. So no individual could ever get greedy and go do it themselves.
Yeah, fair enough.
No.
Are you winning, son?
Any day now, Zachary.
I'm working on it.
Man's writing out riddles. Cut him some
Yeah.
slack.
I had...
Where do you not be prepped and ready?
Okay,
for everything?
I had notes for what the answer is. I need to actually type out the riddle because it was like general notes.
Will it make it easier if you want? You can just say they tell us and then DM.
Yeah,
it
you
to
know
all
what?
of us.
I'm gonna DM the riddle to you guys over the, like, in an hour.
I'd rather you come up with a good puzzle for me to solve.
Well, if only there was a platform where you could give it a suggestion and it would auto-generate using artificial intelligence
Yeah.
to respond.
I might use that, but honestly, like, generative AI is real bad at two things, being jokes and riddles.
Yeah. I was gonna say, this is like the exact thing you don't use AI for.
The riddle is that the answer is right in the riddle.
And I literally have, like,
Right, left.
I know the general concept of it, I just need to word it out.
Yeah.
No, Now,
You
given
asked.
that great promo of you clicking the link below.
Hey, I want to support my own product and advertise it, but I'm not going to be one of those guys who says it can do things that it's bad at.
Oh, no, we're saying you
Hot
can do
take,
it.
false
We're
advertising
saying
is
it's
bad.
bad at it.
It'd be an easy riddle.
Okay, yeah, I guess technically if you want a shitty version of an AI generated riddle for your party, go to auto-gm.com and use it. That is a great platform and a wonderful website for a lot of GM prep. Maybe just not this one thing, even though it technically could do it for you.
It could, but I trust Zach to do it better.
But,
So, I want a damn good one.
But yeah, so they tell you the riddle, and then Mizit goes, anything else before we meet here again in a week?
Yes, I think I've solved the riddle. And I give them the answer.
If
No,
you
I
are
won't.
able to send the DM the correct answer before the session starts next week, we will consider that to have happened.
Oh shit, challenge accepted, okay.
As Escher says 20 different answers in a row.
No, I'll be honest. If I can get it in one try, I won't. There's no way I will.
Can I finally pet the big kitty?
Do you walk up to Asperia and ask if you can pet her?
Oh, I'm at Niv Mizzet.
Okay, he just says no. Asperia might have said yes.
Oh, I was expecting him just to vaporize me instantly.
You just walk up to Asperia and go.
Yeah, you walk up and you go to pet Niv Mizzet, and then he just crushes you with his claw and says, "How do you like it?"
Oh, joke's on you. I like that.
All right, but yeah, anything else before we call it a session? Because I do think that's a really good place to end off.
And we get a long rest.
I think so.
If you want to,
Please.
I would recommend you go to an inn or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but, like,
you
all
can
we're
get to
able
an
to
inn
leave on
without
over,
combat.
Okay, yeah. So
No, I want to sleep on the pews just listening to all these ghost men groan.
You can also get a long rest here, but there's a lot of old white men ghosts who are complaining about the youth nowadays.
No, we gotta get out of here. We gotta
Okay.
get out of here.
Fuck, yeah, alright, let's go.
I know we kind of just got this, but that was a very, very intense session, right? We dealt with a lot of stuff. I
Yeah.
think level up.
DM, kill this man.
I'm sorry. As much as honestly, with my love of milestone leveling, this normally would be a milestone. It's been 2 sessions since you leveled up.
DM, give me his balls.